Hi guys, welcome. And who dat? I'm Joe, and I'm here to announce that the Saints have made a pick on day 2 of the 2024 NFL Draft. The Saints have moved up from pick 45 to pick 41. They trade up with the Green Bay Packers and they send the Packers a 5th round pick, pick 168, and a 6th round pick 190. And the Saints move up those 4 spots and select cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry. Now, the Saints don't necessarily need an outside cornerback. Kool-Aid can do it all. He can play press man. He can play zone. Apparently, he can kick inside and play nickel too. So, not a bad pick. If you're going for best player available and Dennis Allen is the secondary coach, then like I've said, if he identifies a guy and he drafts him in the secondary for this team, they're probably a really good player. So, does this say anything about the future of cornerback Marshon Lattimore? I don't know. I know we set up his contract to be able to trade him. I know that if we trade him before a certain date, it's going to cost us like $30 million. So I think this may signal that after that date comes, right before the season starts, we'll trade Lattimore. I don't know to who, and I don't know what we'll get. But this is as big of an indication as any that that could happen, unless you're just basing it, hey, DA is the secondary coach, Kool-Aid's the best available player. That's who the Saints get. Let's look at his measurables, and he's recovering from an injury, so he didn't have like scouting combine numbers, but we can say that he's 5 foot 11 and a half inches tall, and he weighs 199 pounds. So, right around the threshold of where the Saints could draft you as far as prototype goes. He has 32-inch arms, 8.5-inch hands. I think regardless of whether this guy is below the Saints' normal prototype, he's just too good of a player. His tape 2 years ago was phenomenal. Last year, or this past year, teams weren't throwing at him, so he didn't really have a lot of stats because everyone was avoiding him. And that's the telltale sign of a good cornerback. Both wide receivers out of LSU that got drafted in the first round this year, Malik Nabers and Brian Thomas Jr., both said that the best cornerback they faced in college in their careers was Kool-Aid McKinstry. So he's got that going for him. His real name is JaQuincy, but nobody calls him that. And yeah, I just found that out today. But Kool-Aid is not his birth name, but everyone calls him that. So we'll see what happens. I think he's too good of an outside corner not to try to start right away. And if that means you're going to go with Alontae Taylor at the nickel, well, I hope Taylor improves. I think there's potential there for Taylor, but I'm a little nervous. I kind of like the idea of Paulson Adebo and Alontae Taylor on the outside and the Saints drafting a pure nickel if we're not going to have Marshon Lattimore in the mix. But if Marshon Lattimore's here and we're starting Marshon Lattimore and Paulson Adebo at cornerback, and Kool-Aid McKinstry, our second-round pick, is sitting on the bench or trying to play nickel or something like that, and Alontae Taylor's just sitting on the bench, it's going to be weird. Don't put it past the Saints to try Alontae Taylor at safety, but, we'll see. Being 4 cornerbacks deep on the outside is an interesting predicament to be in, and when you're in that and you're affording it, like we could this year, I guess it's a good problem to have. But my prediction is we trade Lattimore, and we'll see how the starting lineup shakes up for the Saints. I will be posting a video tomorrow about the day 3 selections, though that video will come out pretty late. Subscribe to Rosenville 10 because we'll be talking about the Saints all off season long and covering the Saints all season long. I'm Joe. And until the next time, I'll talk to you later. Who dat?